Hey, what's going on, guys? I am Chaos, and man, I am very, very disheartened right now. So, if you guys do not know, Shugoki recently got a nerf, and the nerf, mind you, was necessary. I'm not saying it wasn't necessary, but there's one change of it that I do not like. So, if you guys do not know the change, when it so if I gotta change the thing so it holds its position. So forward headbutt has been very strong for a very long time. And first of all, I don't know how why forward bash changes even went through. They were really unnecessary. But now Shigoki cannot chain off of a whiffed bash. So just like side dodge headbutt where he could not do the heavy, like now if you do forward headbutt, you cannot do the heavy either. It does have a lower recovery time, so if somebody tries to side dodge and guard break, I'm pretty sure you can counter guard break them. But the problem I have is not with the forward headbutt. Forward headbutt is fine. My issue is that this change has essentially destroyed Shigoki's ability to anti-gank in like effectively, not as bad. Like, I'm not saying that he can't anti-gank, but it's the thing of like, so if you look at his mid-chain bash, because it's all headbutts, so if you do light into headbutt, you cannot chain after. You can, like, I'm tapping heavy and that's when it starts. So the reason why I don't like this is because a lot of dodge happy characters, sorry about the green screen. My dog decided to peek through there, so that's her. But it's just a big issue for me because what this does to Shigoki, like as somebody that has over 600 hours on Shugo, I've played Shugo when he was just a pure combo character, and that's all he was because if you literally stopped comboing, your startups were awful. You couldn't do anything. His hyper was not instant. And what I see is doing now is that Shigoki's now, you're going to have to stare a bit more. So, like, if I do a light and then a headbutt, I cannot, not being able to chain screws me in a gank fight. Because I can't, like, I can't do a light and then switch my target and headbutt. And if I whiff, I can still swing and punish, my opponents for ganking me. And that was a big issue with Shugoki before, was that getting ganked really was awful. Like, you could not do anything half the time, and now it's going to really feel just clunky. Like, because you can do all these different combos with Shugo, but it always goes from you can either do the, obviously just going into heavy, but the going into headbutt was an extra thing that could get people to get greedy. And that was one of my things I loved, was because you could utilize headbutt as a bait tool. And like it feels so awful. Like, I was playing in a stream earlier and obviously I was complaining a lot because it took away his flow potential. And I know some people will say, oh, well, they nerfed Warmonger, all this stuff, but most of the time when they nerf a character, it doesn't completely negate their flow. And the forward headbutt change really doesn't stop his flow at all. It really is, the forward headbutt's not the issue. It's the chain headbutt. He's supposed to me, I've always seen him as a 1-2 character. So you would always go from either light into headbutt, which most people will say don't use light on Shugoki because it's too easily parried, which is a true thing. But you could do zone into headbutt, and then you would immediately punish somebody with a charge heavy if they did anything, or you could cancel or whatever. And it makes it harder to bait people out, because if I do forward headbutt, like, if I go forward headbutt, one of my favorite things to do was to forward headbutt and whiff it, and then I would immediately go into the charged heavy, and I would cancel it when they would side dodge and go into the Demon's Embrace. And to me, how this feels like, again, I just started testing this pretty much, so I am like, I'm not saying that this is like the end-all be-all, but from first impressions, it like this nerf has made Shugoki very, very clunky to me. It's either going to be you're not even going to be using headbutt half the time. Headbutt to me now is honestly it's pretty much a dead skill. If you're not using side dodge headbutt to punish somebody, there's very little reason to be using headbutt anymore. Which I think sucks because Shugoki's headbutt was a integral part of his kit. And you know, I know there's going to be many people that are happy that Shugo got nerfed. He was in needing of a nerf. Believe me, he was very powerful. But I think that they need to give him back his mid-chain bash, like, flow, because it's just, it feels awful to be getting ganked, and then I'll do, like, a headbutt, and right there, you get, it does not go far. So either what they need to do, in my eyes, is either they should take Shugoki and make his headbutt mid-chain, not the forward headbutt. Forward headbutt does not need it. The chain headbutt from a light into a headbutt. Make this go a farther distance so you can effectively actually switch targets and utilize headbutt, which you should be able to do. He's a disabler. His headbutt is one of his only disabling abilities next to his hug, because his charge heavies and stuff are not, they don't really disable like that. So it's just, I think Ubisoft needs to either give his headbutt a little bit more distance so you can actually switch targets and headbutt, or to actually, you know, just revert the change only to his mid-chain bash. Not to the forward headbutt, not to the side headbutt. If anything, at least just give it off of the light into headbutt and make that be the only one that can chain. Because when you take away all of the abilities to chain off of it, he feels so clunky when you used to before be able to do all these different combos. Now you can't. So that's my only thing is, honestly, Ubisoft, please either give it to the light, like after a light he can headbutt and then chain into a heavy and make that the only one, or allow it to be within his mid chains and not his startup headbutts. Because obviously side dodge headbutt and forward headbutt should not be instant. As well as remove that from other characters, because that in general that change was dumb and did not need to be a thing. Like, it honestly did not. So that's really all I can say about it, guys. It sucks because he really just feels clunky right now, and I've got to relearn Shugoki pretty much because he lost half his combos. So it's just going to make Shugoki very boring to play now because he has no combos to him. So tell me what you guys think in the comments below. Do you guys think that it feels clunky too? If you don't play Shugoki, then, you know, I know you're probably happy, but like, please, like, if you actually play Shugoki, tell me if it feels clunkier to you, because to me it just, this nerf feels awful. And it's something that I don't think needed to be going as far as they did nerf it. But yeah, tell me what you guys think in the comments below. I love you guys. Thank you guys for your support. Have a good day, and God bless.